This episode covers July 10th and 11th, 2024, days 91 and 92 of my Grand Detour. My meanderings over these 2 days took me from Bozeman to Red Lodge, Montana, and then onto two of the most legendary motorcycle roads in North America, the Chief Joseph Scenic Byway and the Beartooth Highway. Welcome, or welcome back, to my Grand Detour. A 112-day, 18,000-mile solo motorcycle trip across the US and a little bit of Canada. I love making these videos to share the wonder of the ride, the places I saw, and the people I met. If you enjoy this kind of meaningful motorcycle travel, hit like and subscribe. It lets me know you're out there and keeps me motivated to keep going. Day 91, Bozeman to Red Lodge, Montana. Today was a bit of a shorter day, more about positioning myself for the big ride tomorrow. I left Bozeman under those big Montana skies, and I followed Interstate 90 east before peeling off at Columbus onto Route 78. And that stretch of road into Red Lodge is a rider's treat. Rolling ranch land with the Beartooths rising up in the distance. Red Lodge itself is a welcoming mountain town. I checked into the historic Pollard Hotel. A little bit of a splurge, but worth it to stay right downtown. I wandered along Main Street and had dinner at Piccola Cucina at Ox Pasture. It's a small Italian restaurant that was strangely familiar. They have a sister restaurant on Spring Street in New York's Soho district, and I had been there several times. I was surprised to find they had opened a location here in Red Lodge. And they were surprised I had ridden all the way from New York and was already a fan. After a delicious meal and cannoli, sitting at one of their two outdoor tables, I walked back across the street and called it an early night. Tomorrow, I was riding two of the most famous motorcycle roads anywhere, and the weather was supposed to be perfect. Day 92, the Chief Joseph Scenic Byway and the Beartooth Highway. From Red Lodge, I rode out of town on Montana 308 and turned south onto 72 towards Cody, Wyoming. At the state line, it becomes Wyoming Route 120, and it's only another 22 miles before I turned west onto 296, the Chief Joseph Scenic Byway. This road is named for Chief Joseph of the Nez Perce tribe, who in 1877 led his people on a 1,300-mile retreat while being pursued by the U.S. Army. The byway traces part of that historic flight, including the climb over Dead Indian Pass, where Chief Joseph's people managed to evade capture by doubling back through the rugged terrain. For riders, the byway is about 47 miles of twisting curves, steady climbs, steep descents, and sweeping views. Of course, it wasn't without surprises. That morning, I found myself weaving through open-range cattle, and at one point, dodging rocks, knocked loose by cows wandering on the cliffs above me. It felt like they were putting on a show. There were even some spectator cows lining the guardrail as I worked my way through the rockfall. You have to stop at the Dead Indian Hill overlook. From there, you can see the entire valley floor, with switchbacks etched into the mountainside. It's dramatic, but not overly technical. A road that lets you enjoy the scenery while still leaning into the curves. And after what was already a jaw-dropping ride, it was time for one of the most amazing roads I've ever ridden. The Beartooth Highway, US Route 212. Built in 1936 to link Red Lodge with the northeast entrance to Yellowstone, it climbs to 10,947 feet at Beartooth Pass, one of the highest paved roads in the Rockies. Charles Kuralt once called it the most beautiful drive in America, and riders all over the world add it to their bucket list. It was certainly on mine. It's a wild mix: tight switchbacks, steep cliffs, and exposed ridgelines, with alpine lakes and wildflower meadows along the way. Even in July, snow lingered by the roadside. Because of its elevation, the Beartooth is usually only open late May through mid-October, and riders should be ready for storms, high winds, and sudden temperature swings of up to 30 degrees or more. At the summit, I met a group of 20 other riders from North Carolina. We shared some stories, snapped some pictures, and reveled in the fact that we were all lucky enough to be there on a clear day. Descending back from the summit to Red Lodge was equal parts exhilarating and humbling. It's the kind of road where you'd love to be marveling at the views, but you'd need to be focusing hard on the next hairpin turn. That evening, I had dinner at Bogart's, a local favorite, and reflected on what it felt like to have ridden a road that riders all over the world dream about. The Chief Joseph and Beartooth aren't just roads. They're living history, they're natural wonders, and they're unforgettable riding experiences. The curves test your skills, and the cliffs test your nerve. And it all connects you to the land and leaves you with memories as lasting as the mountains themselves. Thanks for riding along. Tomorrow, I head into historic Yellowstone National Park. Our first national park, and an amazing, amazing place. I'd love to hear from you. What's the most unforgettable road you've ever ridden, or one that's still on your bucket list? Leave a comment and share your story. Until the next ride, be safe, be curious, and keep meandering.